my channel. My name is Joy Presley. Now before we start the video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. That'd be greatly appreciated. So it feels great to be back, guys. I absolutely love my room. And as we all know, this is Vlogmas. That's why I have the lights. But without all that chatter, let's just get into the video. So as you guys can see, I have on my Army OCPs because this is a military video. And the title of this is called Types of Desk Jobs and Office Jobs You Guys Can Get in the Army. Now, this video is very highly requested, so please give this a big thumbs up. And let's just dive right in. So number one is we're going to talk about office jobs you can get as a U.S. soldier and jobs you can get as a civilian. So let's hop right in. So one of the first jobs you can get as a soldier is working in S1. Now I know what you guys are probably thinking, what the heck is that, Presley? What is that? What do you do? Explain. So this is probably a very popular job in the Army, and this is something that a lot of people want because you're pretty much out in the office all the time. You are like the backbone of the Army. Everybody will go to you for questions if they need things updated, so on and so forth. So when you work in S1, the name of your MOS will be a 42 Alpha, which is a human resources specialist. And as we all know, human resource people always work in the office. That just screams office job, desk job. So yes, guys, as that type of MOS, you guys will be in the office a lot, and you guys will be working with soldiers. You guys will be on the computer a lot and doing other types of secretarial work. Now, if you guys are probably wondering, how do I get this MOS? The main thing that I stress the most on my channel is ASVAB scores. So like I said in my other video, the higher you score on the ASVAB, the more likely you're gonna like your job, and the more opportunities and the more doors are gonna open for you. The lower you score in the ASVAB, guys, the least likely you're gonna like your job. So that's just the general rule. I cannot stress that enough. Try to get a high ASVAB score, period, if you want a good job in general. Okay, guys, so that's what you guys will do when you work in S1. You guys will be known as a 42 Alpha, okay? And we are gonna talk about what you do in S1 for that specific desk job. So when you work in S1, your job is to pretty much help the soldiers all the time. So what you guys will be doing in the office is you guys will be updating somebody's ERB, SRB, pretty much just a quick rundown. And ERB is pretty much like a giant paper that has all the accomplishments of the soldier, from their name, their social security number, it has where they went to high school, it has their APFT score. It's pretty much a paper that has everything about the soldier. It's like a U card. So when you work in S1, you will be dealing with lots of important information, and it's your job to make sure that the soldier is taken care of, okay? The next thing that you guys will do in S1 is, updating financial changes. So let's just say I'm a PFC and I get promoted to specialist. Your job is to make sure that their information is always being updated so that they're not getting paid what they got paid before. You're pretty much making sure that their ERB or their giant paper is correct. Next thing is you will just have, your job will be to pretty much maintain reports, rosters, records. You guys will do a lot of organizing. You guys will also deal with in-processing and out-processing. So you guys will have soldiers coming to you when they first come to the base and when they're leaving the base. So woof, that's a mouthful, but that is a big office job in the Army. So now we're gonna talk about the meat and the potatoes of this video. So the main thing is, if you wanna work in a desk job or an office job, I suggest going into the Army as a civilian. Now, first things first, just to give you guys a quick secret, civilians actually make more than the soldier. Yes, they actually make a lot more because a lot of times the civilian will have a degree and the Army just wants to pay them more because of their overall background, you know what I mean? And we are gonna talk about what kind of jobs you guys can have as a civilian who enters into the Army. So we're gonna break that down because there are some rules. So you're probably wondering, how do you apply as a civilian in the Army? So number one is you must be trained and authorized. So the Army doesn't just want some random person off the street just wanting to join and do office work. No, you guys have to make sure that you guys are a professional. The Army wants to make sure that you guys have some sort of degree, some sort of training in whatever job you want to do. So for example, let's just say you want to be a counselor in the Army. The Army wants to look at your resume. Your resume has to be good. They want to see if you've done this before. Okay, number 2 is you must qualify for a security clearance. Now, this might get a little bit confusing, but we are going to break down what that is. So in short, a security clearance means that you have to have a clean record, okay? They don't want somebody just off the street. They don't want somebody to have a criminal history. They want to make sure that you have a nice, good record. And for a security clearance, you have to make sure that you pass that, because when you're a civilian in the Army, you're going to be around a lot of important information, high information, you know, and they want to make sure that you're not a person who is just doing this to have bad intentions or bad motives. They have to make sure that you're a pretty clean person, no crazy records. Number 2 is you have to pass a basic APFT in order to be a civilian in the Army. Now, this is probably a little bit scary to some people, but don't worry. They just want to make sure that you're physically fit, okay? So an APFT, all you have to do is just run, sit-ups, push-ups, and that's it. Because you never know when something could happen. They want to make sure that you're able to run, or anything can happen. So they just want to make sure that you're healthy and you're physically fit, all that good stuff. And the last thing is you must be financially stable. Like I said, they don't want somebody who doesn't know how to pay their bills, doesn't know how to, you know, manage their money, somebody who has debt. You have to overall be a person that just is pretty financially stable and you have everything together, okay? And all this information can be found on the Go Army website. I will leave it down below because the Go Army website has all the information you guys need on how to apply as a civilian. And pretty much the Army website just has everything about your MOS. It has a list of MOSs you can choose from. So go over to that site. And now we're going to talk about other jobs you can have in the Army as a, you know, working as a desk job or working in the office, okay? So the first thing is a chaplain assistant. Now, first things first, I don't want to make it seem like chaplain assistants don't do anything, because that's not true. As a chaplain assistant, you know, you pretty much bear the weight of the chaplain. You're making sure that things run smoothly. You're making sure everything gets done, so on and so forth. You're making sure that you do paperwork. But overall, the chaplain assistant will be working in the office with the chaplain. So a lot of the times, you know, soldiers will come to you for either religious advice, religious questions. They will come to you to have things updated on the computer, such as meal cards, religious preferences, different things like that. So 90% of the time, you will be in the office helping out the chaplain. Now, if that sounds like an MOS for you, I would suggest talking to your recruiter about the different requirements you need for your ASVAB, so on and so forth. And I think it's just a really great job if you're into like helping people, and if you're kind of into like the whole spiritual thing, religious thing. That's probably a good MOS for you. You know, it's a pretty cush job, okay? You're not really doing too much. You still go to the range every now and then. You still have to do Army responsibilities, but it's a job that is a little bit, you know, chill and a little bit easy, you know? Well, I shouldn't say easy, but it's a job that is pretty, you know, you're able to get through it. So number 5 is you can do a desk job as a receptionist. So this is more on the civilian side. So if you want to work in the office, I suggest being a receptionist. You can do that at a dentist's office or at a medical clinic. They make pretty good money in the Army. Just saying, I'm here to give you guys all the tips and tricks. A great way to also get into the Army as a civilian, or to just get into the Army, is to kind of like know somebody who can kind of help you get that job. It's all about networking. That's a really big thing. And that is pretty much the whole video, guys. I did not want to make this too long, but those are all the things you guys need to know on how to get a desk job or an office job in the Army. Honestly, you know, working at a desk doesn't mean that you could just slack off. You still have a big responsibility. You still have to carry out the mission and make sure that the soldiers are taken care of. That is really what it's all about, making sure everybody is good, everybody has everything together, and making sure that you have dignity and respect. Well, that is all for this video, guys. I hope you all learned something. Let me know if I missed anything or if I didn't mention a certain job. Leave it down below. I love you guys so much. Peace.